Ta-da! Hello everybody and welcome. It's Sab here, and this is the very first live Facebook session in this brand new group, which you have been gracious enough to join. At least I hope you have. If you haven't, you could be watching on YouTube, because this is also going live on YouTube. And so it's part of the new group that I've just set up for people who have a beautiful smartphone like this. In fact, it's for any photographer, but it's specifically for photographs taken on smartphones. And the idea is that, well, photography is a wonderful way to be incredibly creative and express ourselves and this sort of thing. And yet a lot of people think that true creative photography is walking around with a huge Nikon or a Canon or something around your neck, and with lots and lots of buttons, and it's very complicated. And more often than not, you don't have it with you when you see that amazing shot. So my idea is that anyone has a fantastic camera in their pocket all the time, and I'd like them to encourage them to take lots of really nice photographs and share them in the group. The other problem is, unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they see something interesting, they raise the camera to their eye, and they click the button, and that is their photograph. But then they get home and they look at it and they think, oh, well, it looks much better in real life. Well, I'd like to tell you that your photographs when you get home can look far better than in real life. So anyway, the group is for sharing photographs. There's lots of themes each day, and let me just show you one of the things that I did to show you what this is. This is the Facebook Live for Monday, Mystery Monday. Why is it Mystery Monday? Because I'm going to give you the mystery theme. I'm going to give it to you, and you have 1 week to shoot on this theme, if you wish, if you accept to choose the challenge. And I'll be doing, so the special guests, so if you want to be a guest of mine, then you can. And I will be giving you a link. So I'll give you a link in the chat if I can. Let's see if I can make that work. And then what you do is you say yes. I'm just trying to see how I can actually contribute to the chat. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, I can. So I'm going to get a link. I'm going to put it in the chat. And then I'm going to ask if anyone wants to come on and discuss photographs with me. All right, so there's the link. Hopefully you can see it. If you are on the Creative Smartphone Photography group, theoretically you should see a link. And I can see myself in the group, so it seems to be live. Although when I'm looking at the two things, the group video and me in this program, sometimes it's a bit slow. Let's see if it's shown up. All right, well, hopefully it'll show up at some point. So the idea is that you come on and you can discuss photographs with me. There's going to be 3 parts to this show. The first is looking at photographs that were taken under last week's theme. The thing is, this is the first week, so there isn't really a theme. But aha, yes, there is, because we had a warm-up weekend. And the warm-up weekend was post any photograph you like. And quite a lot of you did. Not only did you introduce yourself in the introduction thread, but you posted some really interesting photographs. There was no theme, so it was anything and everything. And I'm just seeing if that comment has come up. My comment doesn't seem to have come up, which means that how are you going to know how to join? Let me just see if it's hiding somewhere. No, it doesn't seem to be. All right, well, maybe I can put it somewhere else. I will, in fact. Can I? Well, let me know if anyone can see that comment. I've got a Facebook user. You need to tell this program that I can show your name in the chat. I think you need to go to something. I think you need to go to StreamYard /Facebook. I think it said that in the description of this video. It says go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and you need to give it permission so that I can see the name of the person. Otherwise, I can't see what's going on. All right. Well, this is, like I said, I'm going to show this. Okay. Well, I don't know if you want to play around typing that in. I'm going to find a better way to do it. I'll find a better way to do it next time. But anyway, it's a test and we'll see how it goes. All right, so right, what I'm going to do is start looking at photographs. So I'm going to share the screen and you'll see the group. This is the group and this is what it looks like. So if it's the very first time, welcome to everybody. If you're watching this on replay, welcome as well. Sorry for that slightly stuttery start. What I might do is invite people to come on the show before I start the show, so I don't have to mess around with that. So it looks like this for the moment, Creative Smartphone Photography Group, and you will see that Mystery Monday is here, and just below it we had the theme. No, that's the theme day, that's today, but I'll show you that in a minute. People have already started posting. This is the warm-up weekend. So this is where I said, introduce yourself and post a photograph. And you did. So what I'm going to do is look at a few of them. Now, if you want to leave a comment in the chat, I can see your comments, all right? Theoretically, I can see your comments. So I'm going to put a photograph up and see what happens. All right, I'm going to go to the beginning, chronological order. So many people contributed. It's fantastic. This was mine. Let's see how this shows up on the screen. That's not bad. This was mine. It was the Seine about 2 years ago nearly, because this was right at the beginning of my current project of taking a photograph of Paris a day. And the Seine was flooded and it was amazing. Obviously, it didn't look exactly like this. I played with the photograph afterwards, but there was this beautiful boat. It looks like it comes from Japan or China or something, just in the middle of this sort of nowhere. The water was really high, so all the banks of the river had disappeared. There were no boats going by because they couldn't get under the bridges, so there were none of those tourist barges, and it was quite surreal. So I played with the photograph afterwards and made it even more surreal. Okay, do say hello in the chat. It looks like my comments with the link to join this chat aren't showing up. So do say hello in the chat and ask a question or make a comment on the photograph, and I'll be able to deal with it that way. Okay. Right, so that's so much for me. Now I'm going to, if my computer lets me. All right, so what else did we have? We had this rather interesting shot. It's a shark, apparently, a table shark from Homer. Thanks for that, Homer. You were the very first person to contribute. Well done. I'll never forget you, man. And so it was a bit of fun. And that's what this is about. You know, he looks like he's played with it a little bit as well. It's kind of fuzzy around the edges. It's square. That's my kind of photograph. I specialize in square photographs. And it looks like a bit of fun. And you've actually, in the background, you've got the atmosphere of a cafe. You've got someone's hand. You've got other tables similar to this one with glasses on. So and behind you can see yet another one. So there's a very nice effect going into the distance there with this funny shot in the foreground. So I like that a lot. Thanks a lot for that, Homer. And what else have we got here? Some chat, people chatting away. Now this is Marie-Louise. My good friend Marie-Louise contributed this. Now this was very spontaneous. You know, I just out of the blue, I said, I know I've just created this group, but please start sharing photographs. So I did. So people did. And it's leaves. Marie-Louise says, in the leaves while walking and relaxing in the woods. Now, Marie-Louise loves walking around in the woods, and what a great shot. There's definitely a lot of leaves there. And I think autumn is probably my favorite season. The colors are just so wonderful. And of course, a bunch of leaves is a bunch of leaves. So in terms of making the shot more interesting, you can do a lot of things, because the danger is if you take a shot of leaves, it looks like a shot of leaves, but not much else. Now you've kind of got, have you got three slots here? Like 1, 2, 3. Don't know if you can see that. The top one is the trees and the sky showing through. the middle is the leaves, and a bit on the left there, the bottom, and then you've got this kind of rock thing in the bottom right. And this does make the shot stronger. If it had just been leaves right the way down to the bottom, from about 2/3 of the way up, it would have been a lot of leaves, but the shot in itself could have been stronger. So this lump, don't know what it is, a rock or something, in the foreground gives it the depth that makes it a stronger shot. Thanks a lot for that. All right, here's one, Tinkutsa. Now I think Tinkutsa, you might actually be watching me. 2 people are watching me apparently. Hey, that's not bad. 2 more than 0. But I'm not seeing any comments. So do comment live if you're there, so that I can actually respond to you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can. I'll just try for another comment. I'll say hello and see if it does come up. It comes up for me, but it doesn't seem to come up for anyone else. Ah, maybe I sent the comment only to Tinkutsa. I'm not sure about that. Okay, Tinkutsa's put it in the. She's put it in the chat. Oh my God, you're a star. Let me see if that works. I'm going to go back to this thread, the first one where the video is. I know this is choppy. It's the first time, so we're going to see what's working and what isn't. All right. Tinkutsa says hi everyone, and there is a link there. Tinkutsa, you're a star. She's put a link in there. Now, if you click on that link, theoretically, you can join me in the studio and talk about the photographs. So Tinkutsa, you can do that, or anybody else can do that at the moment because I'm alone. Romain says, hello, Romain, good to see you. All right, let's go back. Facebook user says, very nice picture. That's because you haven't authorized this program to say who you are. It's probably Romain. All right, let's go back down to the warm-up and let's go through these photographs. Okay, right, here's right in Kutsa. This is a shot she took. She says found in the window of an optical shop, or opticians, I guess, during my daily 30-minute walk. And it's a pretty funny shot to have in the window of an optician's. Kind of wondering, what they're thinking. Are you going to look at that photograph and think, oh my God, a devil and an angel, I'm definitely going to go in and get my eyes tested? Your guess is as good as mine, but that's what walking around is. That's what street photography is. It's finding strange things and snapping them, which might not seem strange to anybody else, but if they seem strange to you, that means you're developing a certain eye for things. And that's certainly strange. What might have made it even stranger would be actually having, I don't know, some glasses next to it or something like that, showing a bit more of the shot. I love the angle because I'm a kind of an angle man. A lot of my shots are actually at an angle and not straight on. People kind of recognize that. Either they like it or they don't. But this extreme angle is good because you've got the diagonal of the devil and the angel, as opposed to just a straight-on shot, which is what I was saying earlier. You see something interesting, lift the camera, click, you've got a straight-on, pretty boring tourist shot. So nice, that's really good. Well done. I like it. That could be in the running for my favorite shot of the day. Let me see if anyone is... Okay, now nobody has actually joined me yet. Feel free to try and join me by clicking that link. If you're watching on replay, don't try and join me, but thanks for watching on the replay. And it can only get better from here. This is a kind of test day, to be honest. And well, so far so good. I seem to be live on YouTube and on Facebook. So can't say fairer than that. Now this is more leaves. This is from Maryse, another good friend, Maryse. And it's an absolutely gorgeous shot, isn't it? I'm trying to find a way of making it bigger. I'm not sure if I can. But it would actually be better to see this. If I do full screen, that might completely blow out my entire computer. Let's see what happens. I said full screen, and it seems to have gone kind of full screen. All right. And I don't know how to get it back from full screen, so I might be stuck now. So it's a lot of leaves. Again, but this time there's water. And again, you can actually see it's kind of chopped into three parts. You've got the top row, if you like, the top third is the trees. The middle section is water, but it's actually a stunning reflection of the trees. You know, if you look closely and you look at the original on the site, it's absolutely beautiful. And Maurice lives like 5 minutes from this amazing park near Toronto, I think it is. Wow. Now, I said in the chat that I would suggest a way of making this even stronger. But this is completely personal, you know, but this is what I'm here to do. And when we have other people coming on, they'll give their opinion as well. If you look at this, you've actually got about 50%, the bottom half of the shot is leaves. There's leaves on the water. The leaves are divided into two. There's a bit where they're very orangey, like the third quarter, and then the last bit is a darker area. And for me, the stunning part of this is the reflection. So what I would do is somehow I would probably chop off you can see my mouse there, chop off this bit here, where the color of the leaves changes and there's a bit of a shadow. I know you could say that's kind of framing it, this darker shadow, but to be honest, you've got half the picture is leaves. Chop it off at this line here, where the leaves go from orange to a sort of darker brown. Make that the bottom of the shot. It's getting almost square, and you could make it a square shot by chopping off a bit of the trees, but you've got a bit of the sky showing through. You might want to keep that. Another thing you could do if you want to keep it rectangular is, okay, make this the bottom here. So you've got a lovely big lump, about a third or slightly less than a third of the shot is the bright, rich orange leaves. Then you've got a third of the shot. Then what you can do is chop a bit off the side here, you see? A bit off the side like that. Because these trees on the very edge, they don't really add much more to the shot. So you could basically crop it from the top, taking a bit off this edge, a bit off the bottom, and a bit off this edge. And I think it would be it would be a stronger shot, and you'd focus more. 2/3 of the shot would be the trees and that stunning reflection. That's my comment. All right. Tinkutsa says, well, she says this. Right back at you. Not quite sure what she's saying. That in relation to? I actually like yours the most. Your what? I can't remember what I said. Okay. Let me get rid of that again. All right. Thanks, Tinkutsa. Now, how can I get rid of... I'm going to try and escape here. Yes. All right. Now back to the page. What else have we got? And we've got, this one is from Ruby. Ruby, I think you're in India. Thanks so much for sharing this. I really appreciate it. And it's a really strange shot, isn't it? It's these, she says, effigies of demon King Ravana. And then in the chat, she gave me a story of the story of this king. And it was basically an evil guy. Shame for people with big black moustaches, but there you go. An evil guy who represents the devil. And, well, what did she say? Ravana kidnapped Lord Rama's wife, Sita. He wanted to marry her, but she refused. Ooh. He kept her in his empire, and it took 14 years for Lord Rama to reach there and kill him. This festival signifies the victory of good over evil. Marvelous. Look at that color. Stunning. Really great image. Watch out for this. You never know. Like in Paris, I walk around Paris. There's always some crazy new, exhibition or open-air sculpture in some of the parks. You never know what you're going to find. This looks like it's on some sort of pavement. Oh no, actually it's the heads of, she says it's just the face, so it's actually probably going to be a big, huge monster walking through the streets or something. To make this shot stronger, well, what would you do? That's what I would normally say. What would you do? It's just me. Okay, Tim Kutzer was replying to Homa. And there's nobody for me to talk to here, so I'm just going to tell you, if you've thought about it yourself, how could you make this shot better? Well, basically, I would chop off the bottom. I would chop off at least the bottom third, and that would, because half of the photograph is grey, this grey pavement. You need a bit of grey to give a contrast to these beautiful bright colours, but not that much grey. Of course, you probably realize this and you just didn't bother doing it, or you just don't normally do that with your photographs. But this is something to start thinking about, because one of the main reasons for this group is to help you make your photographs better. And if it comes down to doing a quick crop, which takes 30 seconds, then I'm going to tell you about it. I would chop off this bit downwards. It'll be a longer shot. It'll be panoramic, unless you want to chop off the sides as well. But why not have it panoramic? You don't just have to have the dimensions of the shot as it comes out of the camera. So that's what I would do with that one. Great. Now, don't forget what I want in weeks and months to come on all of these Facebook Lives, which is a Monday one, is for this, discussing photographs under this week's theme, and then choosing some winners, and giving you next week's theme. So I want live people to come on for that. It might be a case of you applying beforehand and I give you the link, so that we don't have this problem of you not being able to come into the studio, because I can't see anyone who's asked to come into the studio. I don't know if you have or not. If you can, do. If you want to click on that link and try and come into the studio now, please do, because I'd like to see how it works. There's also the Facebook Live in the same style on Wednesday, which is me and guests talking about photos that have been submitted for friendly critique or appreciation with questions. All right, so you put a photograph in the group and you say, I don't know, how can I make this more interesting? How would you crop this? There's something missing in this photograph. What is it? Or stuff like that. So that's Wednesday. It's a pure friendly photo critique, analysis and sharing of ideas. And then on Saturday, same thing again. Please come into the studio with me if you want. I'm going to look at my photographs from the week. I take a photograph, a creative Paris street photograph, every day and publish every day. So, well, that's what I do. So I'm going to spend a little bit of this week and this group talking about my 7 last photographs. And you can talk about them as well and ask questions or make comments. And then we look at more of your photographs, All right. So let's see what Tinkutsu is saying. She likes the advice on Maurice's photo. Okay. And remove the finger. Ha, 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 she says. What are you talking about? Remove the finger. Let me see. Maurice. Is there a finger there? Where's the finger? I can't see a finger there, actually. Not quite sure what you mean there. Although I did see a finger in another shot. Maybe we'll come to that in a minute. Tinkutsu said, I didn't really think about how to make the photo was going to look, but I will from now on. Yeah, well, yeah. That's part of the game. Right, here's one from Ingrid. Ingrid, hello and welcome, and thank you for submitting a photograph. Okay, Ingrid is from France, and I know her. I've met you, Ingrid. It's been a long time. And she says, the beginning of the festivities, Christmas festivities in Lille. And she says she loves the discreet passage of passing of Father Christmas on the roof, which she hadn't even seen as she was focusing on the tower. That's great. And I can see Tinkutsu. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll bring you in a second. Yeah, that's what often happens. You take a shot and you think you're photographing one thing. You come back home, or you have a look as you're going home, you think, oh my God, there's a thing there. I hadn't seen it. And it makes the photograph even better. All right, let's have Tinkutsu in. Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. Cooking stuff and watching you, learning about how to.
That's great. Okay, actually, I forgot to put my earbuds in. I hope there's not going to be any problems with the sound. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, great. I hope there isn't an echo. You know what? I am just going to go and get my little headphones, which I hadn't thought about. Tinkutsu, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to show you a photograph, and you're going to say what you think about it. And it's a good one. As I get my little headphones, okay? Tinkutsu, you are on. What do you think of this photograph?
It's Christmas time. Okay. Good thing it's December. I don't know. I hope you'll be back soon. I don't know how to entertain people on photography.
Well, I mean, so this photograph is kind of funny. It's from Ingrid again, and she says in French, it's a curiosity near me. You have to find, it's like a quiz, we have to find the meaning of this very strange Christmas tree. So
okay, okay. So she lets us figure out what it means.
Yeah, I mean, I have my theory, but what about you? What do you think it could mean?
I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's windy and sometimes it's not. And it may very well be in the same spot. And I'm rhyming. That's wrong.
Great. You're a poet and you didn't know it. I suggested that it was maybe symbolically it represented Father Christmas when he got home after having delivered all the presents and drinking too much whiskey, and Mrs. Father Christmas was very disappointed. But anyway,
Okay.
it's probably a British thing. So there we go. I honestly don't know why it's like that, Ingrid, and please tell us. It's a funny shot and it's beautifully centered, including that bit that goes off to the side. For any Brits there, it's a Christmas tree with serious brewer's droop, I reckon. But anyway, that's another story. Marianne, you sent us a wonderful photograph. Let's have a look at this. Check that out. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I love this one. I also saw your comment about the color, and then I realized it. I didn't spot it until then.
But yeah, you thought it was maybe in black and white or something.
Yeah, I'm also used to fog around here, so yeah. But it was really nice. I liked it.
If Facebook user, I think you're probably the only person on apart from Tim Kutzer. So if you could say who you are, I think it's Romain. You said the king one. I need a bit more context when you reply, guys, to something I've said, because time has moved on, and also there's a slight delay in the video on Facebook. So just give a little hint as to what you're replying to, otherwise I'm not quite sure. I think it's probably Romain says, the tree is saying hello to the street light. Yes, maybe it is, yeah. Tim Kutzer, can you see the comments or not?
Yes, I can see the comments. I'm clicking on the phone now. I'm on the phone. So yes, I see the comments. I also see Marie-Louise saying hello.
Marie-Louise, I haven't got her. Where is she? I can see hello, hello. Is it hello, hello?
Yes.
Okay. Maryse, hi, Maryse. Do feel free to come in if you want. Yes, it is Romain. Hello, Romain. Hello, Maryse. Okay. Right. So this, I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And it just goes to show what you can do. It is a smartphone shot, I guess. And I guess you were, on my way to work. So don't be frightened to, as you're on your way to work, I'm not saying get the smartphone out and start taking photographs as you're driving, but I mean, you could stop, and if you see something, then stop. It's worth it, because for doing that, when you did it, now you are giving a lot of pleasure to us. What about the composition here? Would you change anything here, Tim Kutzer?
What? No, I wouldn't. I don't know.
If you did change something, what would it be? Just to see a different version. Is there anything you would remove, like move the barrier, move the edges a little bit?
No, but tell me.
Well,
I don't know.
What do you think of the cars on the right?
The cars on the right, the one. Yeah, I don't know. Wait.
Well,
okay, so are you thinking about maybe taking the shot from a different angle and catching the cars and not with the, I don't know what that is.
I wasn't, but absolutely you could. Absolutely you could. If you'd moved the camera slightly to the left, you could have got rid of the back sides of the cars. But I wasn't thinking of that. No, I was just thinking of the photograph as it is. Possibly, I don't know if I can get rid of these comments. It'd be nice to see the whole photograph. But then again, I get the comments, so It says it reminds her of a movie where there were monsters in the fog. What you could do is chop off the cars. It's quite a long shot, you see. Maybe she made it like that on purpose. It's quite a long shot, moving towards panorama. You could chop off the cars, and it would still be a very standard sized photograph.
Okay.
You've got the horizon is excellent because it's a third of the way up from the bottom. And then you've just got 2/3 of it is this lovely, very, very soft light with these kind of silhouetted poles, and the trees are very soft in the distance. And the silhouettes of the cars as well. It's just amazing. And the horizon line is great, but it's a little bit below the middle of the shot because it just makes it stronger. You might think, why so much sky? But it's the sky that gives it the atmosphere in this case. Yeah, absolutely love it. It's a beautiful shot.
So would you remove the cars on the right completely?
I don't know. The thing with the cars on the right is that it gives it depth. There's something near us. So if you've got something near us, it makes the thing behind it look further away. And also it's sharp, and the thing in the distance is soft. So those are arguments for keeping it. I'm talking about the car and the sort of structure on the right. An argument for getting rid of it is that it's not that beautiful in terms of if you took off the cars and the structure on the right, which is it's near, it's sharp, it's dark, and it's the backsides of cars. So you can see that they're cars, and there's a bit of color. All of this, if you got rid of all of that, the shot in itself would have nothing that, that sort of goes bang. But it also, the red car light, tail light, shows that it's a color photograph, even though all of the photograph is just this gorgeous shade of kind of soft, bluey, yellowy fuzz. It's amazing. Okay, that's enough. Yep. All right, next. Facebook user Romain is saying the king one is the photo of the evil king, and it has the finger on the left. Okay, let's just check that out. Oh, I did see this when I originally looked at the photograph, and then I wasn't thinking of it. Yeah, I mean, this is the very first Facebook Live, so I'm not going to, dive into people's photographs and say, change this, change that. Any photograph you contribute is fantastic. Romain spotted that there is a little finger on the edge of the shot. So that's.
But honestly, I saw it too, but I didn't say anything. I mean,
no. Well, this is just something to, something to watch out for.
But it's nice to have people tell you that. I mean, maybe you don't notice. I mean,
yeah, no, I had noticed at first, but then I was just talking about this. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no problem. It's in fact, it's good that your finger's there because it lets us say, watch out for your finger. If you're taking a shot like this, for example, and you forget where the lens is, and you're kind of going like this. I mean, theoretically, you see your finger in the picture on the screen. You think, oh shit, I've got my finger there. But you never know. You never know if it's a tiny, tiny bit, like just a tiny bit over. And obviously, a good photograph shouldn't have your finger in. So that's worth spotting. You might be able to crop it out. All right, where are we? How about this one? From Yaruska, my friend from Peru.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it? My God, yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see these colors in real life, let's say.
No, they're amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of bluey. It's more pretty bluey, not a really bright electric blue. It's a soft blue. There's so many different tones of blue through the shadows, from the distance, through the bit where the lily pads are, to the foreground. I guess it's reflecting what? Reflecting bits of sky, some clouds being reflected. Now, if you were to crop this in any way, what would you do?
Honestly, I wouldn't do anything because it depends on what you expect from this photo, maybe, because everything in it is beautiful. I don't know if something is worth emphasizing, more or less. I don't know.
If there's one part of this photograph that is maybe less interesting than the rest, what would you say it was? Like the top, the bottom, one side, another side?
It might be the bottom. The
The
maybe.
bottom leaf?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, if you chopped it here, you wouldn't have this kind of bottom leaf hanging off this left hand corner. So you could chop it there and just have a pure blue water border at the bottom.
Yep.
I was thinking, what about the top? Could the top be chopped? Maybe not, because it leads you into the distance. It shows that it's a long piece of water.
Yeah, and it looks like there's something else and in the distance, so that might very well be a continuation of the beginning of the photo. So
yeah, I mean, there's some sort of maybe rocks or something.
Yeah.
Without that, I might be tempted to crop it just where these ripples here, the ripples, the white, the darker, the lighter, the darker. That's very beautiful. So I wouldn't get rid of those. I might chop it here. Oh, hang on. I might chop it here. Can you see my mouse moving across the screen there?
Yes.
Yeah, I might chop it here just to get rid of this top bit. And you could make it square. You could chop it here as well. I'll tell you what this photograph has got a lot of potential for. It's for taking details of it. It's so sharp and beautiful. You could take a detail of it. You could just take, for example, this bit here, down here, and down here. That could be a beautiful photograph. So there's a lot of potential there. And as it is, it's just lovely. This could be in our new theme, the theme for this week, actually, because the dominant color here is the name of the theme, which I won't name yet, even though you can find it on the site. All right, we're moving on. And let's see, how are we doing for time? Okay, won't spend I'll go fast, okay, because don't want this to go over an hour. And I want to tell you about the competition and such like, and the next week's theme. So this is one from Gretel. Gretel, thanks so much for sending this in. She's in Norway, I think. And does it ever get like this in your home country, Tinkuta? In Romania?
In my home country, yes, Romania? But it's not that clean. I mean, the streets are all covered in snow. So. Okay,
all right. Yeah, well, maybe I think it looks like they've cleaned it. So this is a beautiful sort of a landscape for Norway, and I like the way the road kind of goes into the distance. It leads you in, from the bottom, almost all of the bottom, it leads you in and then curves nicely into the distance. With the two houses, which is repetition, I'm a big fan of repetition, the two roofs on the left, and it's on the left. So there's interest on the left, and you're pulled into the photograph on the right, curving round. I like curves, and then into the distance.
And I also like the cables on top. They look like a pencil line.
You like the cables? That's amazing. You know what? It does actually fill in that huge lump of kind of grey sky.
Yep.
And there's also another echo of the shape of these roofs in this little one here. So yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Gretel, thanks for contributing. Keep going, contribute to the new theme. Muna in, actually, I don't know where you are, Muna. Toronto. Oh, it says Toronto. Fantastic. Look at that. It's more snow. First snow in Toronto. Yeah, it's a cityscape, isn't it? Pretty impressive, actually. Looks like she's up high, looking down. You've got the gardens, which are very dark, obviously in shadow, going into the distance. And then you've got this kind of these spiky tower blocks sticking up on the horizon. Pretty amazing, actually. Okay, and it's square photograph. Okay, and Alice came to Paris for a photo tour with me. Thanks for joining the group, Alice, and thanks for contributing. A duck! A duck! Quack, quack, it's a duck. She took a photograph of a duck, folks.
Can we have a duck week theme? I have some ducks here.
Yeah, I have ducks near where I live as well. So we can have a duck theme week if you like, yeah.
If not, we can take a photo of StreamYard. It has a duck logo.
I guess it does, yeah. Let me see if I can show you that brand. Is this it? There you go. If you don't like my logo, you can have the StreamYard logo. Yeah, a duck. Well, you know, this reminded me of my first ever attempts at photography when I was in my 20s. So, you know, about 10 years ago. And I went out into the park. What? I went out into the park and I was shooting ducks and daffodils. You know, can you imagine? Ducks and daffodils were my first photographs. And this was back in the day. Tinkutsu, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. When you clicked the shutter button, you paid money. You know,
Okay.
it wasn't pixels. There was no getting it back. You clicked, you had taken a photograph on a piece of plastic and you had to pay and get it processed.
Mm-hmm.
Those were
I
good
used
days.
to have a camera with a clicker, and then you would have to do it had a wheel,
Like
and
this.
to move
Yeah.
the film.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's actually, I don't know if they exist anymore, but I don't know if you remember those throwaway cameras. Do you
Yeah,
ever remember that?
we didn't used to have we didn't have them in our country, but I know about them.
Yeah, and I don't know if you still have them, but they were. I did this experiment once, and I'll show it somewhere at some point in this group. It was probably about 20 years ago, mind you. I took this throwaway camera. I think there were 24 shots in it. It cost about 10 euros, and I said to myself, I'm going to try and be as creative as possible in 24 shots. Not one single shot must resemble any of the others, and I did. It was, you know, it was really good. It was quite a fun experiment. I do kind of regret the days when you take the shot, you take them in for processing, and you were really excited, you know, to get them back, and you opened it up and you looked at them like this. Anyway, those days are kind of gone now, except for purists, I guess. All right, yeah. So ducks are good. Well, why not ducks? Yeah, of course. A photograph of ducks, you know, could be maybe not the most exciting photograph ever. So you've got to try and compose it nicely. Maybe you've got to get the duck doing something interesting, like flying off or landing or killing a rat or something, you know. The duck is kind of off to the right and looking towards the center, which is something that can make it more balanced. I would possibly crop it like this. So the duck is more, it's got more of its backside against the right-hand side of the frame and more space to look into, and have these reeds here. It's a waterfall, actually. Is it a waterfall? Oh, it's a beautiful little waterfall, yeah. So I would crop this a bit because there's a lot of stuff in the top that isn't that exciting, on the right that isn't that exciting, and on the left that isn't that exciting, and even on the bottom. So I would kind of crop in all directions like this. I'd go, you know, the subject's the duck, make the duck big. And, you know, it's my opinion, of course. All right, let's see what else we've got. Now, I think we're getting towards the end. We've got some... Ingrid, I haven't seen this. This is maybe the last photograph, is it? And it says, and number 3. Yeah, well done, Ingrid. You think you're the only one who posted 3 photographs. It's in French, and I'm not sure if you can translate, but she says, I like the way the light is falling on the fruit. And for the support, for the thing under it,
that tells me that the photo must be there.
Yeah. Now, maybe she's saying that it's giving a bit of Parisian flavor because there's a sign of some sort, a table saying that it's Paris. Yeah, well, it's a beautifully centered shot, and yeah, the light is absolutely gorgeous because it's coming from the side, which is far more interesting. Anything that has a texture, get the light to the side if you can. I mean, for example, if you've got a door which has some peeling paint, if the sun is coming straight on, you won't see any of the texture. But if the sun is slanting across the side of a building like this, it'll pick up every tiny little bit of texture.
Oh, interesting.
And it'll be much more interesting to look at. Yeah. So that's what she's done here. It's a very harsh light by the looks of it, coming from the side. You can see the reflection of the plate going off to the top right. And it's highlighting the fruit, especially round shapes. You know, a light coming from the side will show the round shapes very nicely. It is slightly overexposed on the fruit there, and one of the features of some digital cameras which aren't that high quality, or any camera actually, if there's too much contrast between the light and the dark, the light will get blown out and it just becomes pure white. Whereas the eye, her eye, looking at that, wouldn't have seen pure white. She would have still seen the details. So that's something that we can talk about in the group, not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a still life, which are really fun to set up. I remember doing that with Alice and Janie, that I took around Paris. We did a still life on the table where we were having a coffee, and you can get fantastic still lifes just with like coffee cups and spoons sticking out and bits of sugar, and I think we're at the end, which is excellent because I don't want to take too long on this. So this was the first time I asked anyone to contribute, and look how many people did. Thank you. It's wonderful. Yeah. All right. So, which is your favorite? So
My
we didn't
favorite.
really have a theme or anything. So, yeah, just choose 2 or 3 favorites of yours. Which ones do you like the best in Kusa?
Okay, I like romance photo. Roman, yeah.
Romain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's have a look. Which one was it?
The shark attack in the cafe.
The shark attack. Yep. There it is. And my friend Christina said, nice shot, but not like the sharks I play with. And she didn't post a photograph. I was expecting her to post a photograph of real sharks because she's a mermaid and she swims and photographs sharks. But she hasn't done it yet. But she says coming shortly. I think she was worried that it wasn't taken on a smartphone because obviously she goes underwater and she's got this like mega, so mega it doesn't fit on the screen camera. And this is supposed to be smartphone photography, but I'm sure she'll find a way to contribute. Okay, so you like the shark attack in the restaurant. What else?
Yanara's photo with the water and
Yanara, yeah. Okay, she's called Yaruska.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one is absolutely gorgeous. I agree. Beautiful. And the third one?
Yep. Gretel's snowy. And the fog and Marianne. I have 4 favorites, maybe more.
That's not exactly the principle of picking a favorite. All of them. All right, yeah. So you like this one in the snow?
I pick my favorite. You pick yours.
Yeah, and yeah, and the snow one. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, it's very difficult, isn't it, to pick a favorite, especially when they're so different. So this will be a feature. We will choose some favorites. They're not winners as such. I don't know, I'm playing with this idea. They're not actually going to be winners because I don't like the idea of winners because that means you have losers, as it were. But I will pick favorites. So, and who knows, maybe there will be some sort of prize, I don't know. So if I had to choose 3, oh, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Oh, I'll go for the shark attack because he was the first one to post anything, and it's funny and it's original and it's a beautiful shot actually as well. It's very, very nicely taken. There's a nice effect around the edge. This is a smartphone photography group, and that means playing with the photographs afterwards is allowed. I'm not a purist. I play with my photographs after, but I'll say this a million times, probably every time I ever say anything. A really good photograph is taken before you click any button, and it doesn't matter what camera you have in your hand. A great photograph is taken before, and then you can play with it. So if you take a crap photograph and put a special effect on it, it'll be a crap photograph with a special effect. So this is a nicely composed photograph with a special effect. So congratulations, Romain. I'll give you a virtual prize. There you are. Yeah. Cheers. Hey. Tinkutsu, have you got a fun mug to show us? No?
No.
No. I'm going to ask everyone to have a fun mug as well. No, maybe. And then my second one, well, I love the leaves, of course, but I'm looking for something that your devils are really, and that is really cool. It's just that it's just a picture of that. The leaves, I love the leaves here. This is fun as well. I'm looking for something that's really original and also has a touch of photographic. Some of these things, you see that it's like You see it, you lift the camera, you shoot it. I'm looking for something a little bit more than that. This is funny, but it's a straight on shot. I'm going to have to go for this one. It's just so amazing. You were driving along, you saw it, I guess you stopped the car and you took this shot, and look at that effect. I'm sure there's no special effects there. It's just amazing. Beautiful. So that'll be my second choice. And this is gorgeous as well for the colors. Let me see. That one's okay. Okay. Yeah, the duck and the still life. I'm going to go for this one. That's my third one. Just the colors, the beautiful colors. It's a lovely sharp shot. And there's nothing getting in the way, you know, there's nothing distracting from the beauty of this shot. It's a bit like one of Monet's paintings. You can just dive in and drown in this beautiful image. Ah, well, that was good, wasn't it? Not bad for a first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I go now? Like, oh.
No. Yeah, okay, you can go. I can, if you, well, thanks for coming on. I'll just finish this off on mine. So I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Ciao. All right, let's bring me back. All right, so just to finish, that was the first session. And how are we doing? Well, it's coming up to an hour. So I guess it is going to take about an hour. You know, we're going to have up to an hour. Obviously, you don't have to watch all of the hour. Just watch little bits. I'll be talking about as many photographs as I can, giving at least one, you know, comment and hint, and so will my guests. So you can join at any time if you like, and you'll probably, you know, in the next 5 minutes, you'll have an analysis of a photograph or two. I'm going to introduce the theme for next week as well. Well, it's already started. There's already a post. Let me show it to you. And here it is, and it's Mystery Monday, and it's the color blue. All right. And some people have already started posting. Okay, so the idea is there's a theme every Monday. You shoot on that theme, or you have it in mind for a week. I close the submissions just before going live, like today. So you have the weekend as well. Okay, so you have it on Monday. We go through the week. You're thinking blue. You're walking around. You're seeing something blue. You know, it could be a piece of water that's blue. It could be some, but not just a blue thing. If possible, try and make this blue thing amazing or strangely, you know, in harmony, but not with the rest of the shot. Okay, so it's not just photograph a blue thing. I don't want to give you any more ideas. I want you to use your imagination. I mean, it could be just a stunning blue sky, like 4/5 of the shot, a stunning blue sky with clouds, and then the bottom strip, a little bit of land or something. Anyway, use your imagination, and I can't wait. Well, let me just show you a couple that have been submitted already. I've already got 13 comments. How about that? Okay, so we've got this from Diane, and it's a pretty blue shot, you know. It's actually blue tinged, I would say. The whole thing has been veered towards blue. We can talk about that later. So that's a lovely blue one. And we've got another blue one from Diane, who likes taking blue shots with a rainbow. Oh, a rainbow. And we've also got Maurice, who says this is a self-portrait. Can you see Maurice? There she is, in a blue Christmas bulb by the looks of it. And yeah, so we've already got some. Actually, you haven't been seeing what I've been. That's fun, isn't it? You haven't been seeing what I've been saying. So there's my first cock up of the day. You'll realize that. And so basically, I was saying that there was this shot here, and this shot here of blue, and this shot here of Maurice stuck in a blue thing. So there we go, my first cock up. I was talking about something that you couldn't see. And that's it. So we've come up to the hour. I guess I'm going to make it an hour each time. If we have an hour's worth of stuff to talk about, it'll be nice and compact. And it'll be fantastic. There's going to be 3 of these per week to start off with. I'll see how it goes. And each time I will ask guests to come on. So it's not just me. And each time we will be talking about your photographs. The only day when that will be the case, plus there will be my photographs, will be Saturday, when I start the show by talking about the 7 photographs I've taken in the last week, because I take photographs every day with a Paris theme. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining or watching on the replay. And I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, and we'll do the same thing again on Wednesday. Well, the same thing exactly next Monday when I look at all your blue shots. So make sure you enter your blue shots. Okay, that's what we're here for. You get inspired, throw your blue shots in, we'll talk about them. Wednesday, there'll be a theme where you submit 1 or 2 or 3 shots with a question. Okay, it's for analysis. It's for discussing your shots and how they could be changed, improved, if you like, or seen otherwise. And that'll be an hour of photographic analysis, discussion, chat, and fun. And Saturday is the same, except it's not it's more random. Any old shots we can talk about, even shots which aren't taken by us, but we found elsewhere, and 7 of my shots. And you can ask questions at any time, and that's it. That's an hour. Wow, I'm happy. I'm happy that you've joined the group. I'm happy that I've started this, and my problem will be to stop talking, because when I start talking about photography, I don't stop. But I'm going to stop. And this will be available in the group to look at again, and also it's simultaneously being shown and recorded on YouTube. So if you're not in the group, or people who are not in the group, you want to show the video to, there'll be a link to the YouTube version. Thank you so much. I haven't got a catchphrase to say as I say bye-bye to you, but you know, all the best in creative smartphone photography. And this is Sab from Paris checking out. See you again soon. Bye for now.